What is the one thing that every animal does first when they are threatened? They
make noise, growl.
If that's what we think they do, typically they move. They will move first and get to where they think they're safe. So if this big guy, if he's going to attack me, obviously, martial arts, I don't want to stand here, right? I want to move. So if we're working from a Kempo perspective, if he is going to jab or throw his hook, if I step straight back in line, it's real easy for him to follow up, right? So what we were working with is he was coming in earlier, is just even this little shift allows me to get this angle, okay? So we'll play with that. And what we're going to play with is this idea of I'm not set up ready to fight, okay? I'm relaxed, he's relaxed, but I know something's coming. You got situational awareness. When he comes in and I move back, I'm going to give him something to come into, okay? So this idea of, and notice I purposely did not bring my hands up. This idea, when I move in, he's expecting, his brain is expecting me to come here, right? Because anytime something comes towards our eyes, our hands naturally come up. So if he's throwing, first of all, which is longer, my leg or his arm? Okay.
Not his arm.
So, yeah.
Sometimes with arm.
Yeah. So this idea of, and for now, I'll just keep my hands down. I'm going to make that same angle change, and I'm going to, what he was talking about yesterday is matching his distance, okay? So when he jabs in, I don't want to get too far back, right? In this case, when he's shuffling in, it doesn't take much to come in and disrupt this. So that could be a groin shot, or I can do the same thing when he comes in and just buckle this leg, right? You good? Yeah. That was a little harder than I was intending, but yeah.
That was great, right on the minute.
So, and honestly, that if you, when, he's gonna get even. So,
did it hurt?
This simply, notice, this is not I didn't go and then throw a good hard, there was none of this hip torque in my wheel kick. I simply, as I come off, made this angle change, and this is a straight in tap. That's all it was. I would notice, if I was trying to hurt him, I would have torqued that sucker. But I didn't have to, because when he comes in, boom, it doesn't take much for this kid. And I'll even do this sometimes when that comes in, I'll bump with the inside here, because when he steps in, it doesn't take much to disrupt that. Now, when we've been playing with this and he comes in and I make that, the crazy thing is this hand always drops. And his head, we think, because I've kicked here, like his head's going to come forward, but it goes away first because the body's got a whipping in there. So it goes away, comes back. And that timing, as I come in, that buys this time for to come back in and make this strike. Okay, so as I'm coming in, I'm simply going to drop back, change my angle a little bit. I'm going to tap here. Okay, this is what's shooting in. Boom, right here. Okay, so we'll team up, and I do want you to go slow because it doesn't take a lot on the inside of this leg. And I would tell you, flip your legs for me. It doesn't really matter. Ideally, we think I need to hit 3 to 4 fingers above the knee, on that. There's a big nerve in there I can hit, but it's not that important. If I tap in here, it's still disrupting his parasympathetic nerve system, okay? If I'm wanting to tear that knee out, boom, that's where I'm really aiming in here, torquing that down. But for just this disruption that opens this target, I don't need that, okay? And this idea of, as he comes in, this movement is much quicker than me setting this up, taking this hand and torquing that sucker in. Boom! And come in there. And because it's so snappy, you're getting the speed. Remember, force is equal to mass times speed squared. So if I double my speed, I quadruple my force. So if I can be lighter, I can hit harder just from that speed, right? And I'm also not exerting a ton of energy. If I'm here, I'm going to burn out, but it doesn't take much to strike him in and be very loose. And he and I have been playing a lot with these strikes, just this way. And it's the same thing right there, right? And I mean, he'll tell you, that first kick, I thought it was light, but obviously it'll drop. So pair up and just work, and I don't care whether you want to work left side forward, right side forward, whatever I want you to have control. So if you're normally a right here, then have them shuffle in there, because when you, again, I'm off angle, notice my head's moving just slightly. If all else fails, I want this right here. I don't want this over here, because then I got to worry about him coming back. I want it right here, right? So with that motion, so I'm coming back, and then this hand, when he comes in, is just this. That's what I'm working for, right there, okay? This way. So on the other side, same thing here, boom. And I can even be this way and make that same, here, right there. Because once you're practicing at both sides, it really doesn't matter. It's just that disruption here as we come in. Okay? Play with that a little bit and then we'll build on it.